Welcome to NBA Today with Malika Andrews, live from Los Angeles.
Coming up on NBA Today, we got takeaways from last night's Mile High Thriller. Who did we learn more about, the Nuggets or the Rockets? And yes, you'll also hear from Ime Udoka after the spicy showdown. Plus, Cooper Flagg, his first 40-point game. So what he did last night that put him in the same company as LeBron, Melo, KD, and Anthony Edwards. Also, my exclusive conversation with Victor Wembanyama, how he's readying his Spurs for the Cup championship. Find out next. NBA Today starts right now. Hey, the Eastern Conference hopeful and a rising giant in the West. It all goes down tonight for a chance at winning the third ever NBA Cup. And yesterday, Wemby and Jalen Brunson, they spoke about what's at stake for their respective teams. Take a listen.
It's a high-stakes game that both teams are going to be very invested in winning. So it just shows that, you know, we are preparing and we will pass the next step for more significant games in the playoffs. But as competitors, this is the complicated explanation, but it's simple as that. As competitors, we want to win every game, and this one brings something new on the table, so we want to win it even more.
You're going out there competing, you know, you're playing for more than just yourself. You're playing for your team, your organization, and your city. There's a lot at stake besides the record. So you go out there and compete no matter what.
Timmy Goodtime's taking a break from the Blackjacks table to come and spend a little bit of time with us here on NBA Today. Hey, Tim, this is a huge game that we get to see tonight between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks. What are the Knicks saying about their mindset ahead of this ethical cup matchup here?
Well, Malika, for the Knicks, they have not raised any sort of championship banner to the rafters at Madison Square Garden since 1973, when they won the second of their two NBA championships. So, yes, this is not the Larry O'Brien trophy, but for the Knicks, this is a chance to do something they haven't done in more than 50 years. And it is something that they hope will be a springboard for them to have postseason success, like obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder did last year when they got to the Cup championship game, went on to win the NBA title, and the Indiana Pacers did the year before when they came out of nowhere after making the Cup finals, made the conference finals 2 years ago, and then obviously beat the Knicks in the conference finals last year to go on to the league's championship round. And for the Knicks to do that, Malika, obviously you just referenced Victor Wembanyama earlier. One thing Jalen Brunson talked about yesterday, the Knicks have to get Victor Wembanyama away from the paint. It's obviously a real challenge to do that. In the minutes Victor's out there, we'll see how many he's able to play today. Expect the Knicks to try to keep the ball movement they had in Saturday's win over Orlando when they had a great showing against one of the best defensive teams in the league. Try to get Victor moving around, maybe take away some of his energy and get him away from the paint. Get Jalen Brunson a chance to get another 40 points like he did in Saturday's win.
Absolutely. It's easier said than done, keeping Victor Wembanyama out of the paint. Tim, thank you very much. I'll see you in a couple of hours at tonight's game in Vegas. But as Tim alluded to, it has been a while since the Knicks have won an NBA championship. The last one, it was 52 years ago. It was back in 1973. Remember, they got to the finals twice, though, since then. They lost to the Rockets in 1994, and then they lost to the Spurs in 1999. So once again, the Spurs stand in their way of something significant. Not a championship, but an NBA Cup. So let's get to that other side of this. San Antonio here, as we say hello to our Michael C. right here. Michael, this is one of Wemby's biggest game, if not the biggest game he has played in thus far in his career. And of course, in the last game, we saw him on a minutes restriction. We saw him come off of the bench. So what is the plan here in the Cup final?
Well, Malik, I would not expect a full workload for Victor Wembanyama. Expect him to play somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 25 minutes, something like that. Now, Spurs coach Mitch Johnson said that just because Victor came back in that semifinals win over OKC, that does not mean he's 100% back. You've got to remember, this guy is coming off a 12-game absence, and so they need to really ease him back into the mix. Now, Victor Wembanyama said yesterday that he will have some input into the direction that they ultimately go here. Now, that means there could be a chance that Victor comes off the bench again like he did in that semifinals game against OKC. In the first half of that game, I got a text from a source that told me that the Spurs were looking to strategically maximize Victor's minutes. So that could very well be the case here, but it's important to note again that Victor will have a say in this.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, particularly because on that minutes restriction, by him coming off of the bench and not playing in that first quarter, where was he available? He was available at the end of the game when it was a tight one, and they needed him to be able to close out the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's going to be something that's interesting to watch. Michael C. Wright is on the case for us. We will come back to you if you have any updates on Victor's status here, because the Stars, they are going to be out in Vegas. But of course, the Stars are also out in our studio. Our own Shanae Agumake, our own Danny Green. I feel like a game show host. Well, let's start with Jalen Brunson here, Shanae, and what you're watching for from him.
Malika, there are some games that you never forget. Do you remember this? In March of 2024, Jalen Brunson scored a career-high 61 points against who? The Spurs. That's the second most points in Knicks history, behind only Melo's 62. Respect to the legend.
The real Melo.
I'm going to break down how he's able to play this fencing match. You're funny, Danny, because you play fencing trying to know when to strike. This is drop coverage. Great read by Brunson, who averages 29 points per game. The defender is late, Jeremy, and he strikes in the mid-range. Again, when there's a pick-and-roll situation, this time in transition, Wemby is off of the ball, which means he's going to attack. Wemby tends to go back thinking that it's a full attack to the rim. Instead, look at this nice drag dribble to create separation on his kill spot, which is the elbow. Expect Jalen Brunson to have more plays just like that.
Yeah, but that was year one, Victor Wembanyama. This is year 3. It's a lot different. The clips that we're about to show you, as you can see, with him on the floor, they rank second, top 3 in the league. With him off the floor, 22nd. It's a big difference with him off the floor. But as these clips will show you, he's a lot different this year than he was in year 1. As he's up on the screen, see this arm? Look at this hand. That's SGA. He wasn't doing that with Brunson. Now it's deterring SGA to get that pull up, that mid-range. He has to kick it back to Dort, get back and box out. He's covering a lot of ground. And here is where the IQ comes into place. Look at this pre-switch. He's telling the guards to get up so he can get down. They're trying to bring him away from the paint with a big on the perimeter, like Isaiah Hartenstein, like Chet Holmgren. He says, no, we're going to switch the guards out and make sure I can get to the paint where I'm not in rotation and everybody can run around and he can still protect the rim. So it's going to be a very different Wembanyama than it was in year 1.
You're right. And that's why Jalen Brunson is saying we've got to keep him out of the paint. It's not just because he can dunk on your head. It's because the attention that he can pull and on the defensive side of the ball as well. But what I learned from this segment is Shanae knows a little something about fencing. I didn't know you had that. All right. That game is tonight, but on Monday night, what a game we had
like
between
a playoff one.
2 of the top 3 games in the West. You're absolutely right, it did. Alperen Şengün, Nikola Jokic did something we have never seen before. So, Shanae, let's pick this up in the fourth quarter. This is baby Jokic on big Jokic crime.
I know, and I love it because it felt like a playoff atmosphere. What Alperen Şengün has done, use his spin moves, pivots, not force a double team. That's the fadeaway that we know Jokic is scoring.
And then next possession here, watch Jamal Murray dishing it over to Nikola Jokic. Get yourself a big man who can hit the 3. By the way, Jokic broke a tie with Wilt and Oscar Robertson for the most 35, 15, and 10 games in NBA history here, DG.
Yeah, shooting 3s now, too. He's making himself very unstoppable on the opposite end of the floor.
But when it is winning time, who are you going to call? Oh, yeah, you're going to call Kevin Durant. You know his name.
This is where I was like, this is a separator from good to great. This is why the Rockets bet the whole house on him to be able to keep games close and close it.
Rockets down by 1 here. Şengün backs his way inside. Nice little touch there.
And I was like, okay, we feeling good.
The Rockets take a 1 point
lead.
And then what happened was, so this is 2 seconds left. Nuggets down 1. Murray looking to get into Tim Hardaway. Amen Thompson commits a foul here. Thompson, Ime, cannot believe it. So the Rockets, they would challenge it. Here's another look. So you be the judge here.
I think Timmy tripped over himself, honestly.
Well, the Nuggets would get 1 free throw and the ball. Game tied at 117 here. Jokic gets it in, cannot hit. And so, of course, we are granted 5 more minutes of basketball. That is what this game deserves. Let's play some basketball. Overtime transition here. Hitting a turnaround jumper here was Jamal Murray.
Was that you being Fergie for a moment?
Yeah, that was me being Fergie for a moment. Never forget. Sneaky here inside, gets the layup.
All-star.
And we also know that whoever strikes first in OT tends to win.
Yeah.
And they struck while the iron.
We had him a game last night.
Spencer Jones, quarter 3. Houston wouldn't go away, though.
They don't, and I like this. The tenacity they play with, the physicality. This is one of the teams that have to win these types of games to get the confidence, but at least they were in it.
By the way, speaking of growth, 33, 10, and 10 for Alperen Şengün. Şengün gets it on the inbound, takes the 3, can't quite get it to go, though. So the Nuggets escape with the 128-125 overtime win. Sign me up for another one of those, please.
Unintended.
Another one that surprised me, though, guys. Did you know this, that Jokic and Şengün They became the first centers to record a triple-double in the same game in NBA history.
Battle of the big.
Yes.
Taking it back to the old school.
Amen. Let's take a listen to Nikola Jokic after the huge win.
They're a really talented team, you know. They have a lot of weapons. They are really good in defense. They're big and tall. They attack the offensive glass. So, I mean, they're a really good team. And we try to defend the whole court because we lost 4 in a row. So it was a really good game for us.
Just in general, I think it's a poorly officiated game I've seen in a long time. Two have no business being out there, and the crew chief is acting starstruck. So you're seeing all kind of inconsistent calls, and I'm sure we should have got a few more texts.
All right, so Ime, understandably, a little hot there, a little upset, Shanae, but overall, what did you learn from this game?
Overall, I believe the Rockets could go toe-to-toe with the best of them. Now, if it's a series, it's going to be hard to get over that mountain, and the mountain being Nikola Jokic, clearly Nikola Jokic. But I also like the duo because this is something that I just keep preaching. Jamal Murray having a career year, has never been an all-star. This is his 9th season. And those two in tandem, it's like a symphony. They're in symmetry. They are beautiful. They understand the game at the highest level. And when you can cheat code it and just have them on one side of the floor,
yeah,
it is impossible to stop. And look at that. Look at the bromance.
Would you say that this is ethical basketball?
Absolutely ethical. Now, was he officiating? Not so much.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned the same. I'm watching this group here, and they're doing this without 2 of their main starters. And to me, Aaron Gordon is an all-star this year. And to be able to win games 5 in a row without him, and then Christian Brown, another guy who's up and coming, really impressive kid that I think can add a lot to him. He knows how to win. He's won on every level. But I also learned on the Houston side of things, the 2-man game between KD and Sengun. But I would like to see more KD down the stretch. But again, you showed they go toe-to-toe. They did this 2-man game, which made them force a switch. KD set a screen here with the flare screen to get the switch to Jamal Murray. Sets a screen on Sengun, which you don't see often. The guard setting the screen on the big. Trying to get the switch here, he does. Sengun knows he got a mismatch here with Spencer. Daring Jokic to double team, which he's not going to do because there's Kevin Durant on the perimeter. Now he's got a one-on-one mismatch against the young fella who gets a left-hand layup, which we thought would be for the game. Again, I would like to see more KD in that action, but when you have that type of 2-man game, it's a mismatch on both sides.
To me, I love how we celebrate the offense, but I think the difference in the game was the matchup Jokic and Sengun, but the difference was that Sengun was not able to guard Jokic in single coverage. For example, there would be times where Jokic would get it down the middle lane of the floor, and he would shoot a 3, and Sengun could not contest. And so the other alternative is to run 2, and who's the best passer in the NBA? Jokic. So that is the conundrum. I do think that they have to find ways for Sengun to slow Jokic down. But I think he did his best trying to get it on the other end.
But second-round matchup in the playoffs, I know it's only December, but if you said that we're getting to sign up for that, by the way, Ime, going to get fined?
Yeah, I think you should have. If you're going to get fined, make it worth it.
If you're going to get
Go all the way in.
And he went all the way there. All right, how about after the break? Hey, how did the Clippers get so bad, things with Chris Paul, that they had to send him home in the middle of the night? Ramona Shelburne is here with previously unreported details about what transpired. Plus, we're going to show